Well, hello and welcome. Let's get this loaded right up here.
Welcome to the Great Debate.
Well, I've run into some dilemmas here with trying to get guests on the show. So I decided I'm going to do this one of two ways. I'm either going to run this how I've run shows before, and I'm just going to pull the audience and chat for a minute, but that gets rather boring. Or I'm going to start inviting the audience in, because obviously those who have time to come and watch also have time to come and hang out. Why not? I don't know how many people are in here. I'm going to just assume my two loving regulars, Dark Sasuke and Unwanted Reaper, and I do so much appreciate you guys showing up today. I sent out links and invites and everything else to everyone else. I could do a few more, but it just seems that sometimes you just can't get people to commit to something. And as I am trying to do a regular show, I don't want to expect others to go out of their way to be on my show. So if they can't make it after a couple of invites, cool, I move on, look for a few more people. So I don't mean that in any mean or rude way in anybody that I have invited to the show. If you want to come on, just say so. But if I invite you 2 or 3 times without being prompted to ask you, then I'm not going to sit and bug you to come on my show. So if you are watching for a guest that I have tried to promote or get on here, then I apologize. And I put that right out there in the beginning because I've noticed not having a few people that I have asked has lost me a couple people. And for that, I'm sorry. So there is that. So yeah, I know, Sasuke, but I have had you on here, and I appreciate that, so that's awesome. I want to interact with the audience as much as I want them to sit and watch my show. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have my audience pick today, because you are here. Yeah, shit happens. I have no problem with that, but I'm not gonna seem like I'm pestering someone just to have them on my show either. Would you guys like to pick something from the crowd? Where's my tune? I'm switching monitors here, so my tunes are all a little messed up here. Alright, so sex, always sex came up before VR, so we're going to have to go with sex. There are not enough romance movies with gay couples as the primary romance. Now, this is definitely one I wanted to try and have a conversation with somebody on, but does anybody watch any shows where the primary encounter, or even a movie, especially a movie where the primary encounter is a let's call it LGBT couple, where they're gay or they're not quite conforming to the norms? Do you guys watch any shows like that? And I will start by saying I do not. So I have watched a lot of shows where the secondary couple or the friends of, there you go, Will and Grace, where Will was gay, wasn't he? I didn't watch that too much. I know that it was there. And we've got the same answer from 2 people. Alright, well, then gee, that's what I get for not watching a lot of TV. Yeah, I guess there was that. But there wasn't a relationship at the forefront of the show, was there? It was more of, what was the side character? If you look at Will and Grace, sorry, don't mean to dead air. I'm trying to think back to the show for a moment. Let me roll my eyes in the back of my head, smash my head off the wall, and here we go, I'm back. Will and Grace would have been a heterosexual lead should the 2 of them have gotten together, and the show kind of tintillated at the 2 of them having a relationship together, but never really developed into one. So can you really say that it was a a gay couple at the primary romance. Yes, one of the primary characters was gay, but that wasn't the primary romance. Jack was the third character. He was the shorter, thinner, uppity one. I didn't watch that show a whole lot, but you know. The way I came up with this is, and I try to look at this from other points of view, as my thank you for being here, longtime watchers know. If you look at this from the point of view of a homosexual person and they're complaining about representation in TV, how it is or isn't there. So let's look at this from their angle. So they're saying there's not enough representation, so there's not enough romance movies with gay couples as primary romance. And I think that's possibly true. But is it because those who are gay don't want it to be in the open, even though some are okay with it being known? It's not that they want that at the forefront of a movie. Okay. That is a very good example, Reaper. Brokeback Mountain. I never watched the entire movie. I didn't sit through it. I didn't want to. Wasn't that great. But yeah, that was, I guess you could say, the primary romance in there developed to be those two characters as a homosexual romance, as a gay romance. That would be accurate to sum up, even though both of them had other halves. Yeah, I guess that would be a good one. See, again, I'm the numbskull. I'm not thinking about this. I want people to talk to. What's their opinion? Before gay was taboo, now it's accepted, and now more shows are coming out. Huh, is that a pun, coming out? Huh. Media is catching up. There's a lot of stuff that's coming out there, but the question comes back to the quality of something. If you're writing a movie, yeah, pun intended. If you're writing a movie or a show, your first concern is obviously going to be to draw the audience in to watch the movie or show, so it has to have a good plot line, and then you just kind of weave in the ability to have that romance in the show. And that romance brings more people to want to see it. So you've got this prime action adventure hit that all the guys want to go see. But then they obviously want to be able to take their girls so that they can go see this. There has to be something in there that makes the girl go, "Oh, that was so sweet. That was a nice movie." Let's see. It's true, I haven't seen very many gay romances as the primary focus, but that will change more and more now. Yeah, but again, I will go back to chick flick element. Yeah, it's got to have the chick flick element. You can probably draw in some, other types of relationships into the spotlight in a movie, but again, you got to keep that plot line where you're drawing the main audience in, not, and I say this loosely, 4%, give or take, of the population. So there's that. And it's weird because I try not to talk about all the studies I try to read for writing questions in here, and I've just read an interesting one that I thought was amazing, but we're going to have to move on to the next topic. So, what am I missing here? Chick flick element was the last one. I said that. All right. We're back at the board. The audience is in charge. Again, let me try and see if this works. If I type the words, certain words for social media into the chat box, it will bring up links for you guys to get to them. So, if I type in tweet, we'll go to TV. I will take TV, just popped up there, but there we go. If you type in tweet, it gives you Twitter. If you type in like Discord, it'll give you my Discord link. Yeah, I've got one bot who's in here. Actually, I'm working on a second bot where you guys will get bones. I'm not sure if that's in here yet. I can give that a shot. I thought it would be kind of cool. Does it work? Probably not. But it will in the future. As soon as I figure out what I'm supposed to do with it, I'll get it all linked up and we'll have that bot to play with, and you'll get bones for watching me. Show me a pretty girl and I will get a bone. I can maybe incorporate that into extra screens. I'm working on some new stuff for the show. We'll see how that goes. But we had a request for television. And television says the size of televisions versus the portability of other viewing devices, the growth of their uses. So let's see. Let's clarify this. We noticed that as time goes on, your ability to transfer the media that you were watching on your television or computer at home, which was stationary, is increasing so that you can take and download videos or watch them live stream. You can put them in a cloud and watch them when you're ready. You can create a library at home and tap into it remotely via your Wi-Fi. There's so many things you can do to watch everything you have on your phone while you're mobile. But at the same time, TVs are getting clearer and larger, and let's just use a plain and simple down-to-earth word, they're kind of cooler. So you've got cooler phones and mobile devices that'll watch everything everywhere you go, just about. And then you've got these awesomely huge, cool TVs, way better than was around 10, 15 years ago. So you see the ever-increasing sizes of the home TV, yet the ever-increasing portability of your devices, and you wonder why choose both? Why have either? What's going on that's almost correlating between the two, or is it just situational happenstance? Oh really? I'm gonna play with a Nightbot. LOL. Oh, should I be scared? I have other things programmed in there. I don't know if you're in my Discord. TV monitor will never be replaced by a tablet for the full experience. Even now, I'm streaming to the TV. But portability, I'm assuming, will increase more and more in popularity. I'm playing this on my TV to watch and listen. I'm using my phone to chat. Okay, you guys don't want to know what I'm capable of doing from my living room, and yet at the same time completely unplugging and taking it all with me and doing it somewhere else. I guess the more attachments you have, the less portable you are, but I can detach my computer. I have a wireless mouse and a wireless keyboard I can take with me. I can show up in anybody's house, connect to anybody's Wi-Fi, hook up to their TV, and broadcast. So I do like my portability option, but when I'm home, I'm hooked up to one of my TVs and using my computer for literally just the show and how it looks, because there's no reason to show you the guest shot here because I don't have any guests today. I could put the audience shot there, but I kind of like the way the prompter angle looks, where I can chat with you guys and see the game screen there. I think that's one of my favorites, so I made sure to leave that set up somewhere on this stage. What else? I always hook up to my phone. I, fortunately for myself, have a few devices on the side of my computer. I use my wife's computer when I broadcast so that I can monitor my stream from her computer and monitor the chat there. And then my computer has the ability to run the rest of the audio stuff, so that at a moment's notice, if I can put my mouse there, I can run the Jeopardy music while I talk, and I have that all queued up to be moderately quiet. I hope it's not overplaying my voice. It looks a lot lower than what I'm putting out, so it's probably cumulative but I assume I'm coming out alright. I need to look at buying a new gaming mouse for my computer, because this one is starting to miss the light gaps. Maybe I just need to clean it or something. Let's see. So I guess I can do the same. You're pro and no, it's good. The sound is background. Yeah, I have it. I have a lot going on, and I watch a lot of people struggle, and I know I'm way off topic here. The buzzer's about to go off. I watch other people struggle on their streams to have a chat. And Dark Sasuke in the chat can attest to this, that when I chat with a guest on my stream, the buzzer that's about to go off in, the person on my stream can hear every sound perfectly that goes through my computer so that they can keep up with me in real time. Whereas I notice a lot of people have to use my circle or other methods to get people to keep up, and then they can't always hear everything just right. And yet I put a tutorial out on how to do it, and I'm a small creator trying to help out. So that's out there. If you see people fumble, there's a video on my channel for that. Why some have audio issues? Why? I have, Dark Sasuke knows I have run into audio issues a few weeks ago. I was running into tons and tons of them, and then I reset my computer, started from scratch, looked at everything I was doing, and said, okay, this is how I need to set it up. This works. I can also do other things. I don't know if you guys remember.
I can do this. I can be the Dark Emperor. You don't want me to be the Dark Emperor.
Let me get rid of that. So I have it set up for me to be able to do cool things. Yeah, I know. I was watching Sasuke. I figured you were on your tablet, and one of the issues was I'm not sure how well Discord runs on tablets. I know on my phone I did test it out, and I jumped into Bear's green room just to see if people could hear me in chat and whatnot, and it did work for a few minutes, but I was putting out way too much sound, and my phone was telling me I wasn't cutting on the audio, so I'm going to have to see why that is. I don't have a tablet anymore. I have one of those tablet computers that flips around that I can take with me, and then I have a couple of phones. One's in service, one's not, so I connect to the other. Like sometimes when Tonka tries, his audio fails. Yes. Don't get me wrong. I love Tonka's stream. I have nothing to argue about, so I have no reason to jump on Tonka's stream. And when you jump in somewhere and you have nothing to say, and you just sit there like, hi, I just came in to say hello. Can you guys hear me? Okay. All right. Thanks for coming. Have a nice day. Thanks for having me. Bye. You know, that's not me. I've got nothing for it, so I don't need to jump in, but I'm happy to listen. And then I just go, oh, by the way, I have a video on my channel. Click my name and check my channel in the chat somewhere while I'm listening, doing dishes or whatever. It's like, come on, guys, there's a link right there. But that's just me trying to get stuff out. I only made the voice meter video to show people how I do it, because I found a way to make it work to talk to people through a chat and have them hear things, which I think would be cool on the other end. If somebody's playing a video or playing an audio and you're just sitting there like, wait, hold on, what are you doing over there? Shh, shut up. Why? What's going on? Shh, shut up. Why? Told you to shut up, we're playing a video. Well, I can't hear it. How am I supposed to know? Because the person broadcasting your stream is unaware of the abilities that they have with the programs that they're running. So there's that. I need to get off this topic. I could ramble all day, and I've only got 40 minutes or less, because I have things to do today. So I do apologize that the show runs short. It's not because I'm bored. It's because I don't want to kill everything before I get people to kill it for me. Alright, here we are. I believe maybe it's just me, or there may be an extra person watching. Do we have a silent viewer who would like to pick the next category for us? I would love for you to join my show. I have 5 shows a week now. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I'm doing this hour. And on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons for me, I'm doing 2 p.m., which is, I want to say 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So there will be 5 shows a week. You're welcome on anytime you like. New voices are always welcome. Transportation it is. Again with my mouse seizing up on me. Roads and bridges are degrading as fast as the cost to repair them. Will this get better? I think I wrote that wrong, but it still works. The cost of repairing these roads and bridges is increasing as the roads are degrading faster and faster. Let's see. It's 15:19 for me. That would mean it is 3:19 and you're on military time. And that is 6 hours. So you're an hour plus 1 GMT, which I don't know what that time zone is. I actually had to look for all the time zones, but you're plus 1 GMT, I'm minus 5 GMT. So that's how that goes. GMT is Greenwich Mean Time. It runs through Britain. It's also 0 if you're looking at the clock. Amsterdam, Paris. Ooh, Patty. No, I won't do that again. All right. In America, and I haven't been to Britain, so I don't know how your roads are. In America, we have roads where you can drive down them with a nice car or a beat-up car, and the road will feel nice and smooth. And then we have, and this is the more common thing, roads that have holes in them that can be as little as a pebble hole that's just slowly chunked out or cracked in the road, to as large as the tire on your car, and probably sometimes half as deep as the width of your tire on your car. And if you run over one of these with your car, you could blow your tire off, you could break your suspension to pieces. I've seen people lose their fenders, I've seen people go off the road. Then there's the cracks and stuff in the road that, you know, oftentimes are half an inch to an inch across or more, and then you go home and you open up your tax bill if you're a homeowner, and you go, what am I paying for? The fire department and the executives that run the town. That's what I'm paying for. Where are my roads? Oh, we're sorry. That road right there, that's 600 feet long, is going to cost $500,000 to replace. Oh, and that little 25-foot bridge out there in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, you know why they haven't fixed that yet? No, why? Because they're trying to get a contract for less than $4 million. Are you serious? How could 20 feet of concrete cost $4 million? Okay, now that I've ranted that part off, I'm going to look and see what the chat had to say about it. Yes, you're plus 1. You're Dutch, by the way. Alright. No, because cars and vehicles will continue to travel along the road, so it is a consistent damage. In the Netherlands, sorry, let me take my mic with me as I try to read that. In the Netherlands, we have an amazing infrastructure and well-maintained roads. You can show us the way. Once I broke my rear shackle bolt on my truck because of a huge crater-sized pothole. The Malevolent Rider. Hey, and welcome to the chat. Bear with me here. Let me fix your name. I will say, until I hit about, the number's going to be in my head, 250 subscribers. Everybody who joins me will get a wrench until I hit that point, and I will know my long-time subscribers when they show up and say hello. So, welcome. If you have anything to say about the topic on the board, today is basically just an audience chat-along day, because I didn't invite any guests today. Yes, the large potholes. I've seen roads where they're maybe a quarter mile long and they haven't at all been done. And maybe 6 or 7 years prior, they were completely repaved. But when I started driving 20 years ago, and the roads were, even the cracked roads weren't as bad as they are now. I don't know if they're doing something different, if they're using a different method or something. Maybe the concrete mix isn't the same. Maybe we stopped using something because of rules or hazards or something, but it's not as durable as it was 15, 20 years ago. I just come by to say hi. I'm going back to bed. It's 9 a.m. and went to bed at 3, and I had a dentist appointment in 2 hours. Well, I would set the alarm to make sure that you make it to that appointment. I also will say thank you so much for stopping by. You have been given a wrench. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel and hit that little bell icon. I have 5 shows a week now, and they go anywhere from extremely boring to somewhat interesting. So tune in anytime you like. Tim, how are we doing today? Welcome to the end of transportation as I come back over here to the board. And clear that. Put it back up here. So it is back to the audience. And Tim, now that I see you in there, why don't you think about what you want to look at next? When you travel on the highways around my counties, you can tell where the county lines are because the roads change so much. One can be rough, one then smooth, repeat. Yes. If you live in an area that's near a state line and or county lines, or you travel a lot, you will often notice from townships to counties to villages to states where the lines stop and end in the road, and you'll see how far off the edge of the side of the road they tar to make sure the road has enough room not to crack on the end. Different states have those rumble strips down the edges of the road. I've seen a few places where some have put them down the center of the road, and I laugh because the Northeast is where I see that. So if you're dumb enough to put a rumble strip down the center of the road, which is a hole in the road, which will hold water and then freeze and then get into the concrete, and oh look, you've just created a reason to repair the roads the following year. So I saw one area do that, and then they stopped. They've been paving those roads back over since. So there was a cost problem. Glaring back over here at the chat because I'm rambling again. Autocorrect hates me. Autocorrect hates everybody. The stupid LGBTQ thing. I'm with you there. And I'll click on it. At the same time when we drive into Belgium or Germany. Crack cocaine for all. Hey, welcome, Lenugs. And Reaper is with you on that. Let me get over here. What was I clicking again? LGBT. Would having more open talks about LGBTQ plus feelings help to understand why we should teach kids? Uh-oh. Pills and needles. Pills and needles. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. My mouth's getting dry. All right. Where do I start? Enough is enough. All right, so here's an honest question. I am not much for the teaching of young kids this, and I think some of my chats, including the one on Friday about how lived experiences versus born like that, had come out. I want to say that I believe lived experiences do contribute to people trying things, which is okay, but I think you're teaching them so early that they don't quite understand the web of what you're teaching them. So let's say Lindsay, not that she's gonna watch my show, but Lindsay from Queer Kids Stuff, who teaches ages 3 to 9, I want to say, because I did do a few videos on her in the past. Again, I don't really do many videos anymore, but I did do some. if you're teaching kids 3 to 9 these terms and you're associating them with the least common denominator of a answer as to what that term is, then the child is not going to understand what the term is. They're going to understand what you taught them, and as they grow up, the term will then become what you taught those kids, not those kids understanding what the term is. Does that make sense to anybody? Kids should teach kids about black magic. Kids should find out what they are, not get taught to to place himself in a box. Right. Seems stupid because, I mean, these people have normal human feelings. Okay. I'm not... Yes, I want to talk about the feelings. Some people, when they're young, may have felt like they were that way. And then they looked for the things in their environment that made them feel comfortable with the way they felt like they are. And they may not have felt like there was enough in the environment to provide them with the information to answer their questions about how they were feeling. And that is understandable. A lot of people feel that way, even if there are answers out there for them. They still may not understand how those answers apply to them and how to use them. And that's part of growing up. Teaching a young kid terms that inherently or could be misconstrued as sexual orientation, not sexual identification, is kind of misleading them. And if you're going to teach them these terms when they understand what you're teaching them, let's say 10 to 15 is a good time to start a structure on, okay, by the way, you know, holding hands comes before kissing, and, you know, kissing comes before other things, and you build up from there like you teach a child. That's how you do it. You wait till the appropriate age and you explain to them the way things work. You don't teach them as a kid a clouded, diluted concept so that as they grow, that concept grows to mean just about anything they want. Or that's how you get these soft, overly offended adults. Looking back at the chat again because I realize I'm rambling. I have glossed over the facts of LGBT to my children. The most I have gone into any LGBT is that some men love men and some women love women. Yes, I have kind of glazed over those same facts as well as many, many others. I have started the foundation to explain the truth of them, but I've started them at a point where my son understands what it is I'm telling him. Be right back. The kiddos are just too quiet and I need to find out why. Silence is bad here. Okay, well, in agreement with you, silence is bad, but in the current time right now, silence is good for as long as I'm running my show, even though I can just barely hear them in the background. Okay, there's my timer. So much I could say about this because I have doubted my sexuality till about the age of 25. Well, I mean, it's more about the kids and can they understand these topics. Okay, can kids understand these topics? My son inadvertently said something to me about the color of his skin. And when he said it, I didn't exactly understand what he was saying. I misconstrued it automatically for talking about skin color. So I sat down at dinner with him because it was right before dinner, and we had a conversation about how skin color inherently doesn't make a better or worse person. It's how they act regardless of their skin color, and if they use that in a part of who they are or how they act, then that's something called racism. And I explained out this whole thing to him and had a nice conversation. Believe he understood most of it. Laid out the groundwork for, you don't mistreat people because they're different, da-da-da. He goes, no, I was talking about the tattoo I had on my arm. Oh. Don't I feel like an over-explaining absolute idiot? Cool. Well, we still taught you something important, right? Yeah, but it had nothing to do with what I was telling you. Okay. How was your day? Alright, let's move on. Stories. Stories. I've got too many screens. We'll move this one and we'll put that one there. Let's see. Just for fun. Just for fun. Let's look at me. Everybody loves it. I'm the coolest monkey in the jungle. And I also want to comment, do not use Streamlabs subscriber counter, because for some reason I have to reset the subscription counter, the subscriber counter every time I start the show, or it's not accurate. I have to write it in there. It's not keeping track of people, so that's annoying me. Also, the Streamlabs viewer counter always reads 0, so I had to get rid of that. Things are bothering me. I will figure out how to use them, or I will not use them, and I'll find other ways. And the command I was using isn't working either. Let's go. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Take a look in the sound booth. Everything's okay. I'm coming through audio quality on air. Cool. I'm going to make some more of these little video things. Let's get back to the game board. I like the prompter angle better. Let's get back there. We'll look at the chat. Alright. Who are we on? Who gets to pick the next one? Oh, wait, hold on. I got some chats to read while you guys think about that. When kids get sexually active, it's the parents' job, not cool. Not school. Not school. Okay. I've told my kiddos, only because of the horrible comment that was made at the end of one of my kiddos, that if they grow up to love another man, I will always support them no matter what. Yes, it is. And is it Reaper's turn to pick? We have Tim. Did Tim pick? Did we have anybody else in here that wanted to pick? Everybody's welcome to pick. Everybody's welcome to jump on. Yes, Streamlabs, I'm pretty sure everything's still working, because I have other stuff in here that is on Streamlabs and it's working just fine. I'm working out my end of Streamlabs if you're wondering why everything hasn't cleared yet. My bank just opened this morning and gave me what I need to finish the thing with that. I've never had it used, so I never finished the process, but it was all set up. But so I appreciate that it's all fixed now. I do not really care about this stupid shit. Reaper's turn to pick. What, the board or the game or the LGBTQ? I don't much care about the LGBTQ either, but I want to make sure that some of their philosophy and ideas get talked about, whether or not I agree with them. So sex crap. Oh. Yeah, there's that. It's really hard because it seems merely 20 years ago to sit and openly talk about sex, sexuality, and your personal outlook and activities was so taboo that it was just almost unheard of for people to talk about. And when they did, it wasn't public broadcast. You didn't get on television and start your sentence by going, I'm an openly bisexual, biweasel, bisquirrel, bipeanut, bicorkscrew, unwanted Reaper. Thank you very much again. I hope you guys can hear it. Change just starts falling. And you know the sound when you drop heavy coins on the desk, and I got headphones on, so that that's the only thing I hear right there. So thank you so much. You find out when you're ready, but now, I'm sorry, I'm looking at screens. You find out when you're ready, but now it's like we got to pick a time to talk. You know what? It's the parents' responsibility to make sure you pay attention to how your kids are acting. If your kid walks around the corner with their hands behind their back and never stops keeping their eyes on you, you might want to have them pull out their hands and see if they have anything they're not supposed to. When they say something that sounds like somewhere where you don't believe they should be headed morally, or by your religion, or by how you were raised, or something you want to correct in the way you were raised that you don't want your kids to do. When you see that, you correct that, you address that, you discuss it with them. When they get to the point where they go, yes, you know, I like girls, or, you know, I feel awkward that I don't like girls and I like boys. When they bring that to their parents, that's when you discuss that. You do not start them off at, hey, do you like chewing on this toast? Do you like this toast? Would you like to be with a guy or a girl? How do I raise you? Do you want a dress or pants? That's not how you do it. That's why it seems so stupid to me. And yes, I'm sorry. I know some kids are rather intelligent and can moderately speak by age 2. But do they understand the fact that you're offering them a dress or pants and that is actually viewed a certain way by other people? That's what the hard part is. Let's look over here. You find out when you're ready. It works. The sound too. LOL Reaper. Yep, I've got one for the change, and I've got one for people that join. It's a coffin that I made. I'm working on a slightly nicer one, but I haven't figured out how to add the effects to the coffin yet, and it is a GIF, so I don't want to get too high quality or it'll still look like a bunch of pixels. Again, thank you for that. What else do we got? Did we have somebody pick something? I didn't see any topics roll by. But when somebody wants to chat something, my mind hits a random thought. I will ramble until I see something I'm supposed to do here. And I got about, what, just shy of 20 minutes to ramble along. Let me take a sip while I wait and see if anybody's got a topic. Mainstream media. Freedom of the press does or does not extend into the White House. Okay, so this was Trump's doing. Wait, I can say that about a lot of things. Like him or don't like him, he wants to prohibit them from coming in and pushing their narrative in the questioning and the reporting that they do within the White House. We do have our freedom of press, and they do have the ability to report the news however they see fit. But do they have the right to be in the White House? Or does the White House have the right to tell them, we're sorry, you're lying, you're not allowed on the grounds, you're going to have to report from the sidewalk? He ain't my president. No, really, I'm Dutch. Okay. That's fair. So, how about we apply this worldwide? Because, and I don't know how. What would be a good way? All right, let's do it this way. Does that pop up? Oh, that's that. Your leader lives in a building. Your leader puts out statements to your press, and your press reports on the statements and whatever else. Is it the press's right to come into your leader's building by an invitation and then mischaracterize, lie, or kind of skim over, in your leader's view, the news that your leader is putting out? That's, I guess, the inherent question. So, if you have a whole bunch of news agencies going in, 3 of them just record what's said, and that's what gets put up, and people get to hear it in context, verbatim, cool. 2 of them come in, they do the same thing, but they cut it up and they play it out of order. It sounds a little worse, but they still played what they recorded. And then you get a couple that come in and say, instead of reporting what happened, they go, the feeling that I got from his speech was that we are all going to die. He's going to push a button in 30 seconds and we should all run for the hills or our bunkers. And if they're putting out 3 different stories and they're all right there and you don't know how to believe them, wouldn't you get kind of mad at the person that said, hey, he's about to push that button? Everyone is telling lies about a lot, anyway, so I could not really care for that. But we do need to know what is going on, so there is that. And there is that. There is, and in America, this is an important question, is the balance of freedom of press versus the balance of what's going on. Does he have the right to stop and say, no, wait a second, that is not what I just said? Or anybody. And I guess that would be the question if they're walking in the White House and they're saying something sidestepping from what his speech was, and he sees that and calls him out on the fact that, you know, that's not what I said. I said this. This was what I meant to say. This is what I said. This is what you portrayed me saying. And this is what you're trying to insinuate me having done. And I just don't agree with you misusing it just enough to push a narrative. And that part I kind of agree with. So, the presidential home is the White House. And there is places in there where the press is allowed to go. There's places in there where the press is not allowed to go. And then there's people that aren't allowed there because of security or other concerns. So, would it be wrong to prohibit a person who you feel is lying about you, or because of, you know, freedom and equality, not equity, equality for all, just because somebody's misleading the news doesn't mean they're not reporting it, and they still deserve the same rights as the person reporting it. So if you let somebody in that's reporting the news, you need to let somebody in that's skewing the news, because they have equal rights as reporters. Alright, I'm teaching poker to my kids. That's very important to learn. Strategy and when to fold. Well, feel or did lie. I'm not understand. Well, feel or did lie. Do I feel he did lie? About what, who, and where? Here we are back at the board. Let's see. It's about 13 minutes to the hour. They said hi to you, NumbedSkull. It is a case-by-case thing. Well, hello back from the NumbedSkull. Alright, let's get one more of these out of the way. Any other viewers want to pick a topic? We're gonna go up here and short one. Let's go movies. What should? President should refuse them entry. Oh, I missed something there then. When you report news, tell the truth, otherwise the president should refuse them entry. That's kind of what I feel. But we got to go movies. It was first. Tim won that little jump into the keyboard. There we go. Alright. Which would draw your attention more, and why? Save the girl or save the planet? Nothing to lose. Alright, let me just make sure I'm doing everything right. I'm looking at the wrong screen and trying to move the wrong mouse. No wonder why it wasn't working right. I'm smacking it off the thing. Alright, now that the NumbedSkull is paying attention to the screen, personally, I kind of want to see someone save the planet with nothing to lose. Because when they got nothing to lose, they just keep fighting. But as soon as you see one of those superheroes and you hear that "ah" from Mary Jane, Spider-Man's got to stop, turn, rescue her, then go back and rescue everybody, because he can do it all at once. And it diverts from the story sometimes. It adds to the story sometimes, but it diverts. Some of them live on the planet. Some of them hover above it, like, little self-proclaimed angels. So there's that. I mean, did I say that out loud? All right. Save the Girl movies. This is, again, some of these were more predominant to be able to talk about back in the 80s. I can basically equate to some Marvel movies. Has there been any good Marvel movies where there was a Save the Girl, or was that a you got nothing to lose, save the planet? Because they're all nothing to lose, save the planet, and I kind of like that. They really have nothing else. That's why they're there, giving everything they got. You could talk any hero. Okay, who was Captain America's girl? Spider-Man had Mary Jane. It was always about whether or not he could get the girl, and then when he finally could get the girl, it wasn't about the girl anymore. It was, I have to go all or nothing, and this will hold me back, so I can't have you right now. So, what would be better to watch? What would be better in the long run? Do you want to see something where they're going for the girl, or do you want to see something where they're all out Hulk style, giving it all you got, and when you're tired you just keep going because there's no way you're gonna fail? And again, even with the Hulk, with any, or not with any, but with a lot of good superheroes, you don't really see them go for the girl. They go for the, I have to do this because it's the right thing to do. I must be proud and take care of the civilians of this nation because I can. Well, let's, can I say this right? Well, I do love my action raw. Had the moment at the end to stop Hydra or to get Peggy Carter. Did that come down to the romance? Or did it come down to the saving of a civilian life? Hold on 1 second. I'm going to put some sound effects on because apparently I have a knock on the door. Give me one. Oh my god, I'm so sorry for that. That sucked. Okay, back to the chat. Spider-Man, Mary Jane. He had the moment at the end when he was stopping Hydra to get Peggy Carter. I love my action raw. Perfect. That voice was spot on. Hard to think of a superhero Marvel guy that went for the girl. They all had him. Okay, they all had the girl when they wanted him, but when the girl wanted them finally, they were too wrapped up in what they were doing. Isn't that always the way it seems to go? It's if you really want a true superhero, it's about that thrive to be able to get the girl, but just can't have the girls. The untouchable superhero almost. Yes, in a lot of spin-offs and little genres, yes, they do get the girl. Spider-Man gets Mary Jane for a little while here or there, and Hulk gets what's her name, and Superman gets Lois, and they do get the girls, but they don't always keep the girl, or they have to hide it from them. The whole motif is them not getting the girl to be the bigger superhero. Alright. So, let's answer this question. I guess the one that would draw is the one with nothing to lose, where the girl is just there to keep his attention. That would be a good way to go. And here we are at 9:54. Let's check on our chat. Well, the captain his job by stopping Red Skull. Yeah, we hated that red skull. Mine's not red. Mine's more of like a wood, varnished wood, until I find a better color I like. We'll get there. I gotta finish. Never mind. Rambling on again. Alright. Solo hero, a lot unless they're a superhero team. The teams just kept each other on track, and then there was a romance in there, but it was never like the star superhero in charge, because he was the one in charge. He never had the time. I'm sorry, I cannot hold your hand right now. I must lead this team of other very strong individuals who are very capable of doing their jobs. We'll do it together. I can paint it. That would be interesting. Painting a superhero. Now I've lost myself in my own conjecture. Let's see, what else we got? So, I say like Punisher, who was more about the revenge than the justice. Yes, the old Punishers were great. So, with that, I'm going to say, my buddy's calling. Hey, don't hang up. Give me 1 second. I'm going to set the phone down and finish my show. Sorry for that, guys. With that, I'm going to let you all go today. Thank you so much for showing up. Please tweet and share this out. Hit that like button for me at the end. Let's give it to you right there. I haven't updated this because I've been busy helping a buddy. So I'm going to put some new things on the show for you guys to see later. And I will catch you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Greenwich. Thank you all for showing up. Let's get you some music on the way out. Have a good day.